So Nick, you got to ride the SL7 S-Works.
Yes, that is correct.
And thoughts today?
Well, I mean, I've recently also bought a gravel bike, a Cinelli Zydeco, big heavy aluminium cluggy thing.
Yeah.
Just for the sole purpose of, wrecking it over the gravel and going off-road. And honestly, I can say, and it pains me to say this, that this bike genuinely feels more similar to that gravel bike than it does to my SL4 over there, which I recently bought.
Yeah, you got... Yeah.
It's really quite sad that this is the great grandson of a bike like that. It seems to almost be like a lot of steps backwards. I guess they tried to merge the Venge and the Tarmac, but really cocked that up.
Just disc brakes and the long chainstay.
It's that, and it feels wobbly. Like I couldn't even clip into these pedals properly. I'm wearing the wrong cleats.
Yeah.
And I could still get like enough power through the bike that I could.
Because you're a decent level racer.
Yeah. So
you're not a noob. You've ridden a few bikes.
Yeah, I've ridden a few bikes. I've ridden a lot of Ks, and I can kind of know what to look for and what to feel for.
Yeah, you've got a Cervelo R5 and a Trek Mondo.
Yeah, and I've ridden a Mondo, which is also a disc brake.
Yeah.
The
Mondo feels stiffer than this?
They're both stiffer than this. So the Mondo is genuinely stiffer than this.
Yeah, that's what I found.
Which is interesting as well. I think it's just these frames. Obviously, to make up for the disc brakes, they've had to really cut weight on the frame.
Too light.
In doing so, they've really fucked up the compliance of the frame. It's almost...
Well, I'd say it's compliant, but it's not stiff.
Well, that's it. Like it's
too compliant. It's too soft.
Compliance of it, because it's too soft. Like
it's not a performance racer.
Yeah, exactly right. And these, I don't know about these drop seat stay business. I think that might actually be part of the problem sometimes.
Maybe it looks cool, but
it looks great, but I don't know. Most drop seat stay bikes I've ridden have actually felt quite soft. But then again, they're often disc brake bikes. That's right. The trend these days.
I think as well because with a disc brake, you've got like a long 410 chainstay.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more like a lever spring effect versus your Tarmac over here is a 410, a 405.
Yeah. I agree. But it's a bit disappointing to see. I'd never ridden one of these until Ali came here today and lent me his. So I've taken it for a quick burn up and down the street, and it's instantly noticeable the difference between that.
This is the vibe.
Yeah. I mean,
imagine you had to race that.
Yeah, a few predispositions based on Harley slamming it for the last 6 or 7 months, but
just honest criticisms.
Yeah.
We're specialised fans. We're just not a fan of the SL7.
Yeah, and look, I mean, what are you trying to sell this for now?
$6,000 Australian.
And the fact that you can't sell that makes me think that people know that this bike sucks, but they just kind of refuse to admit it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because what's it, 12, 13 grand?
As pictured, it'd be $13,000. If you walked into the store today and bought one of these brand new, it'd be 13 grand.
Yeah, so I mean, and Harley's has got upgrades on it. It's got the absolute black rims.
Yeah, I've got an upgraded stem. That's actually a much lighter stem than the stock one.
And he still can't sell it for less than half of retail price.
Yeah, someone said, it's fake, and it's like there's no fake SL7s. You can contact Specialized Australia, Specialized USA, and contact Brand Security. They know me well, and ask them is this a fake or not.
That's exactly, and they all have serial numbers, so they can.
Serial number you can fake. But just, there's no fakies out here of SL7s. There's no AliExpress SL7s.
I mean, it might as well be though.
It feels like it, doesn't it? It feels like a cheap, nasty
Chinese frame.
I mean, it is made in China though.
True.
Not there's nothing wrong with China. This is made in China. It's made in Xiamen, and then they ship it to Taiwan for assembly paint. But it's definitely made. Yours is made in China as well.
Yep.
Because when they had the recall for the fork, it came from Top Key. The recall, Top Key Industries. So it's made in China, which is fine. Yeah. But for the money,
I agree. And don't even get me started on the colour.
It almost feels like this is my opinion, Specialized said, hey, make a bike that's going to be hard for the counterfeiters to copy. So make it proprietary front and rear, make it really proprietary so the counterfeiters can't produce it as easy. And they've done it. They've maybe hired some engineer in Shenzhen or wherever. Not that that's an issue. And it doesn't feel like a rider made this bike. Yeah. What do you think?
No, I fully agree.
It feels cheap and nasty.
I think part of the problem, and I have thought about this, is trying to merge the Venge and the Tarmac, which are two completely different bikes. Almost backfired on them. I think it's actually got too much Venge than it does Tarmac, and I think the Venge is not the best bike.
The disc Venge is shocking.
Yeah, I've ridden a Venge, and that's a really sluggish bike. For a bike
sluggish is the word.
As like their fast bike, I quite disagree. It's really not fast at all. It's slow.
When you read the advertising from Specialized.com, and then you think in your head, wow, this bike's going to be sick, and then you ride this, you're like, man, I got catfished.
Yeah, catfish is the right word.
Tarmac fished.
You did.
Specialised catfishing hard,
that's
man.
exactly right, because it's not the same, and it's quite sad to say. I mean, I know someone who owns an SL6, and I was talking to him.
Rim or disc?
Disc.
Yep.
But that I have ridden that.
It's pretty stiffer.
And it does feel better. It feels better than this bike, which I'm not sure. I mean, the disc brake's always going to be a problem. It still doesn't feel as good as the SL4, but at least go back to having the Tarmac and the Venge as two separate entities, because I mean, having the Tarmac with the disc, it's not as good as the SL4, SL5 or SL6 in rim, but it is significantly better than
this catfish bike.
One.
This
mushy.
is
a mushy bike.
It's mushy,
I
sloppy.
don't know how I genuinely don't know how they stuffed that up. But
I think even like people say, oh, it's fake, look at the colour. Like, I don't see it on the website.
The colour is not the same as the website.
I think it's maybe they had some quality issues and they just produce all these really cheap, not cheap, well, they are cheap to make, but just crap quality SL. I'm just theorising. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact, but I mean the fact is it rides crap. But why does it ride crap? Maybe they had bad quality control because you press the top tube in here and it flexes. It's bulgy.
That is crazy.
Which is I've never had it on a bike like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
And it's Flex City. I mean this SL4, this SL4, man. That's like that is rock, man. That's there's like nothing in there. That's like so much more soft. These are so much stiffer.
Yeah, I mean, some people might not like the stiff bike, and that's fine. I mean, they make endurance bikes.
That's fine, but Specialized shouldn't advertise this as a race bike, should they?
Exactly right.
They're catfishing us races hard.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you want an endurance bike, go and buy a Trek Demane or
buy SL7 because that's what it feels like. This feels like a Demane.
Yeah, I do.
We just want the marketing to match the actual product.
Yeah,
that's only fair.
Yeah, and I mean, I think especially for Harley, who's been riding these bikes for 20 odd years now. I think it's coming from a place deep in his heart where he's actually quite saddened that this is the direction that
our first world problem.
His beloved SLs have gone.
Catfishing.
His S-Works have just deteriorated in front of his eyes in one generation. So
they have, unfortunately.
That's how it goes. But yeah, hopefully they get back on track.